Alrighty, meeting, all members are present, the pledge, pledge allegiance, to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, thank you. Nobody here. Selectmen. I have a few things, but I'll turn it over. Scott. Anything?
I don't have anything right now.
Matt.
I don't have anything right now.
So, the Acton Library, I think we're in agreement with, an architect. We interviewed a bunch of architectural firms because they want to do a renovation on the inside of the building. Okay. It's expensive, but they have some Tucker Fund money. They would apply for a library grant. There might even be another fundraising campaign locally. So, it could be a $3 to $4 million project, but there's money out there. There's a library grant, whatever. So we're going to design something to make it more modern on the inside, and then funding will take from there.
This comes out of the planning process that they did, right?
Yeah,
They had a USDA
partly from a strategic plan. Yeah.
Because they did a presentation last spring, I want to say. They had some.
Well, they did the agricultural, they had a grant, feasibility study grant done, and then they had a strategic plan at the same time, and libraries change, right? And we all know that. So this kind of came out of all that.
Okay.
And there were I think 5 responses. We interviewed 3 firms. 10 of us did that. Nothing crazy long. And we narrowed it down to basically 2. And we chose, I forget the name. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of it. But the contract is now back to me. We're probably going to sign it by the end of the week for them to start the design. Expensive to do, but Tucker Fund money will pay for the design, and then we'll have a plan, and we'll figure out how much we need to raise, apply for grants, things like that. It's pretty exciting, actually. It doesn't change the footprint of the library. So they're very excited over there. Just open it up a little bit more. Under the radar a little bit is the waste and recycling.
Waste under the radar.
Waste and recycling. What?
Waste under the radar at this point.
Yeah, well, our local waste and recycling task force, and we're down to 3 members. If you know anybody who would like to join it, they're doing pretty good work. So the paint recycling came out of that, which takes a lot of latex paint out of the municipal solid waste bin. Textile recycling came out of that, which is great. Keep towels and rags and clothes that can't be recycled to Goodwill or anything came out of that. The battery recycling came out of that. So I ordered 5 of those battery recycle bins. This one's been filled up twice. I mean, 2 or 3 times. It's heavy. When you put batteries in there, that's pretty heavy. So that's gotten empty twice. The schools took 2. Brett took 1. And I'm missing 1. Let me forget where I went. So we're going to get 3 more. Park and Rec, another school. Yesterday we had a meeting and we decided to buy 3 more. It's good, we're going to put them all at the schools, Park and Rec, and just get kids to recycle batteries, and kids and adults. It's amazing. Every time they get empty, it fills up again. It's just pretty cool.
And it's all types of batteries from
It's not a battery for a drill, which is lithium-ion. Yeah, we're talking about
AA's and D's.
Yes. It's all that. The hole to put in the bin is like that big, so it's not going to take anything much bigger than that. So anyway, that's, and now the thing we're working on is a countertop recycling bin. So I've ordered about 16 of them so far, 2 different designs, and the committee doesn't like either one. If anybody would like a countertop recycle, I have them. I give them to Lynette and she gets rid of them. No problem. They're being used. Yesterday, Diane Stover came in, who's a member, came in with something she liked a lot. She's going to look into it a little bit more. And then the idea would be to order 100 and go to the transfer station. The ones she liked are cheap. They're like $12. We'll sell them for $5. People give you a $5 bill, they'll take it. Okay. And if the first 100 goes, we'll buy another 100. And then, try to get people to recycle at the same time, educate them that when they bring their food recycling, they can put it in the Blue Earth bins that we're using up there. So, slow progress, making progress. The committee has had an impact, hopefully more of an impact over the next year as we do that. Just throwing that out there. We had a meeting yesterday.
So with Blue Earth and on that piece, do we have a set agreement with Blue Earth or is it, what's the time period on it?
Oh, you mean how long?
Like how long is are we kind of like seeing how it goes?
No, we have a contract with them for probably a year.
Okay. And can do restaurants come in and dump?
No, restaurants don't typically use a transfer station.
Okay.
So we're trying to take food waste out of the transfer station.
Yeah.
Restaurants are going to use a garbage
They're gonna use a garbage
service.
service, so
If a restaurant does use a transfer station, I would hope that they would use it, the food scrap recycling. But you are correct, though, that as a more global solution, restaurants are key. Schools and restaurants are key.
I was wondering if Blue Earth is coming down to Saybrook already, if that became something that was more feasible.
They're not there. They are not there yet. The state is not there yet.
Okay.
And I think the state hopes to get there with schools and restaurants sooner rather than later. Because our transfer station costs aren't affected by a restaurant or the school.
Great.
But Connecticut's waste issue is, right? So it's a global issue. So
okay, thank you.
anyway, if you'd like a countertop food scrap recycling bin, you can have one.
I have one.
Do you have one? You're gonna take.
I would like to see.
Then you'll
this.
take one today.
Yeah, check it
All
out.
right, the HVAC system for the roof that is in the budget is out to bid. So if the budget passes, we'll see what the bids come back. That went out, that's going on the DAS website today. Just so you know what's going on down at the end of the hall, we're combining the tax office and the assessor's office. Did you look, you guys? We cut a hole in the wall.
Yep.
So those two offices are going to be combined. So there'll be a desk out front for the assessor, right, even with the hallway. And we painted today. New floor will go in over the next few days. That office will be open again next week. And it'll be good. Those two offices really need to communicate a lot. So with different folks at the helm, we getting rid of a little silo mentality and trying to encourage a little bit more cross education. And Dan Moran is overseeing that, actually doing a good job. He's saying, we were getting quotes and he's funny. He's a funny guy. I was out there he's doing like the walls, like plastering the walls to make sure when they paint, he works and he organizes it. He's doing a good job. He's overseeing it. Otherwise it wouldn't get done. So lastly, I brought it up at the last meeting, the June 25th party. We are off and running, we're gonna get flyers out starting tomorrow. I have a flyer, I'll show it to you. You guys are welcome to join meetings if you'd like. We're going to do the meetings every Thursday from here on out at 3:00. Not a great time, good time. Whatever. If you can make it, you're more than welcome to come and listen, give your ideas. Both of you have a lot of ideas. Right now it's going to be Chris Costa, Brett Elliott, Judy, the chief and Jennifer and me. We have a sponsor, from U Flowers, who is just basically gonna help us pay for the bands and the toilets and some advertising. Figure that cost, I just got a quote for 2 trailers of bathrooms, so one of them has like 4 women and 2 men, but the men have urinals, so it's more than just 2. And then there's another trailer, of like 4, I don't know, it ended up being 2 trailers.
Mhm.
Hopefully bathrooms, plus we have the one on Main Street, so, but that's $4,200 for 2 bathrooms, okay? And then Brett just sent me over a list of bands that he and Robin were talking about. I think it has to be kind of a good time band, like covers, like you hear a little Tom Petty, you hear a little bit of something maybe newer, and I look at you, you're younger. I know, I don't know why I did
I'm
that.
in some new band.
I don't think it needs to be original music. I think it should be music that people hear and they like and they might want to dance to. We are charging $50, just $50, and you can come and do anything you want. You can sell.
Oh,
So we think
okay.
that's a really reasonable fee to charge.
Yeah,
So if you want to sell food or sell bracelets or, I don't really want, this is my opinion, any political committees in there. I really don't. I mean, I'm just trying to make it a street party. And hopefully it'll be, not me, I'm not trying to make it. I think that, we were worried about getting applications from groups that might have a cause,
Mhm.
and I don't think we want that. We want people selling stuff, either, goods, items, or food. We're gonna put that out. Jennifer came up with an application. We have a flyer ready to go. Prominently advertising from U Flowers. I ran it by Mike Chapin. He's good with it. And so he will, between the bathrooms and the bands, I think he'll cover most of that, which is great. And then it's just advertising. So we're off and running. We're doing it.
Okay.
No rain event, no rain date. Yeah, right. If it rains, the event's canceled until next year.
Rain or shine, no.
Well, you can't have a band in rain, So, I'm not sure you're gonna want to sell food. Power's a little bit of an issue. We're trying to work through that a little. The band would need a lot of power for amps. And so, I might call Steve Bogan. I hear he has some generators. I don't know if either of you know him particularly well.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I know him.
Yeah,
See if he'll loan us a generator just for the band and then block off the noise as much as possible. That would take care of any bands. We're talking about having the band where the farmer's market goes, right in the middle of Main Street. Playing out towards the street. We're working on a festival beer license, so we can have craft beer. I have a call into Kerma to talk about that. Not beer and wine, beer. If you want wine, you want a martini, you can go into Penny Lane Pub, you can go into the Rabbit Hole. I have a call. A lot of the stores don't know about this yet. Like they're gonna find out shortly. I called Bill Childress because Port Plaza would be blocked off. So I called the gym. I didn't get a call back yet. So we'll see.
but it's on Sunday
It's
afternoon.
not a Sunday afternoon. The gym's open.
Okay, yeah.
They're open. They're open 24 hours, but it should be less impactful for them, more impactful for restaurants. And, there's a new spa place that opened in that plaza. Actually, it's, Jade Paradise, John's ex-wife.
Oh.
And, she may not be open on a Sunday, but that might be good for her to advertise her business on a Sunday. So, love your idea. I'd love to hear, you know, if you want any information on it, if you want to sit, please do.
Every Thursday?
We're gonna do every Thursday at 3. If you want to get up to speed on anything, let me know.
The,
All right.
the only comment that I'd make, and I hear what you're saying on like lots of different political groups, but you know, it was in my head, having, since this is a celebrating Old Saybrook thing, allowing for the Old Saybrook DTC and RTC to have a table if they wanted to be there and voter registration, just like that's basic civic engagement.
Yeah.
And especially as we lead into an election year for municipal elections, I'm doubting that it's gonna be a big
Tell you
thing
what.
that people wanna do, but if the committees wanted to have 2 tables by town hall,
Yeah,
for 2
maybe by
hours,
town hall.
you know?
Let's see if we fill up Main Street with vendors.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we do that, and then, let's see what
Yeah.
happens. Let's see what kind of response we get.
Yeah, I hear
The idea would also be maybe engage a radio station,
you. Mhm.
so that at one end of their, you know, they're broadcasting or playing music and stuff like that. So those are some of the ideas we're talking about, all right? All right, so that's basically, don't forget, we have the annual town budget meeting next Monday night, 6:30, and the referendum following week from 12 to 8.
Only at the high school.
Yes, the early voting bill, Joan Broadhurst came to me today and said, looks like 8 days. And 2 of them towards the end have to be like 8 AM to 8 PM or something like that. You know, I don't know how you do this in 169 towns. Like, how do you have your government function? You can't do it at the schools. You can't close the schools for 8 days, right? So people have to be able to come somewhere to vote. Now, I told Joan, you may have to be in the hallway. You know, there's gonna be meetings, there's gonna be standing meetings here. And that's Old Saybrook. I don't know how it happens in Middletown. I don't know how it happens in really small towns. It's here, it's gonna happen. I just don't know, forget the cost. Logistically, I'm not sure how it happens. You know what, well, I'll make do.
I went to an event last night, actually at the Acton Library.
Okay.
And Secretary Stephanie Thomas was there.
She was there?
Yeah, speaking, it was a women's, you know,
Okay,
group that she was talking about it, but she was talking about, yeah, the challenges and in a lot of these bills, they're trying to figure out things like with edits right now, like the 75 feet that you usually can't have people, you know,
right,
with their
Right.
campaign material. Or the fact that candidates can't be inside, you know, like if we were holding it in this, you know, room, for example, your office is 75 feet.
It's different.
from here, you know,
It's
so
very
we have to make all of these different amendments and it's not gonna be for this fall, it's gonna be for,
oh, is that right?
realistically, we're not gonna be able to
I don't know.
execute it. What I was hearing was the goal was the primaries for 24.
But not the general or
No, well, the goal was that we would be ready to try to implement this stuff for that
for the
primary.
presidential election?
Right, but all of the registrars, everybody else is saying we would love to be able to do it this fall, but nothing is set. There's still technically
Yeah.
3 active.
How many
bills.
people were there?
Maybe 40
Yeah,
people, several registrars from Middlesex County,
okay, good.
so.
So I don't know, we'll see. Everything's, you know, like the governor's bill on trash. I mean, all this is kind of being held up right now because we're waiting for them to finalize their budget, finalize all the bills and then just roll it out. I don't think anything's been voted on yet. So we'll see what comes out of it all. So anyway, why don't we move on? I'll move the minutes from April 11th. For a second. All right, any issues? I think we made your correction, Matt.
Yep.
I think you had a correction, right? And then I didn't even,
Yes.
I
my
just
name
did it right
is
away.
spelled, my name-
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, I guess I got this, and I don't remember even doing it, but it's Animal Control Officers Association Appreciation Week. So that's what we're doing, put it on the budget, on the agenda. So we're recognizing it. They do a nice job when they're needed. I know that.
I see one of our animal control officers almost every morning. Make sure she recognizes that we appreciate her.
So, item B is actually pretty straightforward. It's, the state, when you do a project, has a master municipal agreement for construction projects. This will apply to our Lotzick project. It will apply to our project across the street. I got it last week and they said you don't need a resolution anymore. However you wanted, but since we were having a meeting so quickly, I'm not doing a resolution, but I didn't sign it yet. I was gonna get it back to him today. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the amendment number 1 to the master municipal agreement, which basically is just extending the old one. That's all it's doing. So, all
Second that.
right, all those in favor?
I did have one question.
Yep.
Because I spent a little time looking through it and just worrying about, project budgets and the cost of construction right now. So there was a section that talked about extra work set asides if costs come in over. Is there funding with either of these grant programs right now that if
For extra costs?
if we go over okay, so it would be on the municipality.
So for instance, if we with the 500, so the 500,000 state grant that we got here, we'll do as much as we can.
Yep.
And then we'll stop and we'll fund it locally.
So if the bid comes in more expensive.
We'll
than
do what we
have,
can.
We'll go as far as we can.
Yeah.
Or we will use municipal funds to complete the
Yeah.
full scope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same thing with the sidewalks on Route 1. We knew we couldn't get them all done. But we'll get what we can and then we'll finish it with sidewalk money. All right?
Yep.
All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. And then, Matt, and I know we went over these all last year. Do you have any questions?
No,
I
so
hope not.
no questions, but I did go back to see, and I was like, the easiest way to look at these will be to look at the website and see what we have posted.
Okay,
It's still, I can work directly with Larry on this. The fair housing policies
yeah,
are only posted under the town employee documents.
okay,
So it's hard to find, and when you search it through the search function, you find the policies from 14 and 15.
okay,
So it looks like we're out of date when you start to
All right,
look around
we
when
need to-
we're not.
correct. So I'm just gonna move items, C through H for approval.
I'll second that.
So, all right, with that caveat that Matt just stated, we'll try to get him maybe in a more
Moved
prominent
into a
place.
More visible location.
Yep,
On the website.
and get rid of, nothing from 14, 15 should be up.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
So-
still linked or
All right,
available.
all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And then, so on the Conservation Commission, we thought we had 2 resignations and we do. But one of them was lagging. With Christine Piccolo, who is the chairperson, said to me, hey, we have 2 resignations, and she started looking for people. And the 2 resignations were Lori Aparo and Donna Leak. One of them is Deb Mapes. She's someone that I think Christine knows, found somehow very interested in this. She's a Democrat. And even the other one, who I didn't approve yet because Sarah Becker has not formally acknowledged Donna Leake's resignation yet, which she will shortly, is also a Democrat. I just, that should still, because Karen Jr. is an unaffiliated, still leave enough balance on the board. So I'm not concerned about that. You know, I'm assuming when people come into the Conservation Commission, they come in with, you know, good will. And so anyway, with Deb Mapes, I'm assuming we're going to, she lives on Fen Cove Court. And I'm gonna move her appointment. Is there, I don't know if anybody knows her, I don't. But that's a good thing. She got involved. It's getting her involved. That's the way I look at it.
I'll second.
Yeah, okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the other thing I might do is, with Deb Mapes or with the other person that is being recommended, I may see if they want to join the Waste and Recycling Task Force, because we have 2 resignations. Because those 2 commissions can work very closely together.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So I'm gonna contact her and ask her if she wants to do that. All right, so that's it. I don't have a ton today. Trying to think, you know, Chris. Do we want to have, who do we want to have in at one of our meetings? Do we want to have, Chris Costa can talk about the POCD. She can talk about resiliency projects. We can have, I mean, I don't know who we want to have in, you know, maybe to keep both of you more in the loop on things.
Yeah, I mean, have, as much as Chris can talk about, you know, upcoming potential projects and projects that are on the, you know, slate publicly, I think an update from Chris is always.
I'll see if
Good.
yeah, all right, I'll see if
And resiliency, I mean, is also something that we
well,
should,
she's applying for some big grants right now, so
and that's another place that ARPA funds can be spent.
as you saw,
Yep,
Bruce is, I mentioned that to Bruce.
Yeah.
And so she's gonna appear at the next ARPA meeting.
yeah, I think I had asked a question the first summer, like there was, I remember there's a resiliency component of the Harvey's Beach
Yeah,
Park and Rec plan.
yeah,
You know,
there
that
it
is
is.
just around grass and dunes and that component, you know, so definitely like to have that conversation.
So, right, so maybe I'll see if Costa wants to, for next meeting, if she can.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make it work for her, she's busy,
No.
but
I actually have a neighbor who's also interested if we get another conservation committee opening. She indicated to me,
who's that? You told me.
and Francine Gumkowski,
Yeah,
and so because I talked about it, walked out of that meeting, and that's what she's interested in is
does she
conservation.
wanna
So maybe that water,
put her in touch with me and we'll see if we can find a place for her, maybe even on the waste and recycling,
yeah,
okay? All right,
And then
all right,
Park and then for a meeting after that, you know,
maybe
Park and Rec.
either, or maybe Park and Rec first if Chris can't make it.
If Chris can't make it,
All right, I'll mention it.
thank you.
All right, move adjournment, is there a second?
Second.
All right, 4:29, thank you guys.
That's a good one.